So they plan to open house for this weekend, but we're going to Mark and Vanessa's, and we're also going to do what?
The Cav Ball.
Going to the Cavalry Ball. All right.
On the Cav!
We're back. Hi.
Hi.
So we did an open house, right?
We did do an open house.
So we're supposed to we're going to the Cav Ball. We have plans to do that anyway. And then our realtor threw in, hey, I want to do an open house on this day.
While we're gone.
Yeah. So, you want to talk about what that entails? Getting ready for an open house?
Basically, I did some homework on Google and what to expect when expecting people to come in your house. And I got a little paranoid, looked at what they like to steal. So we locked up all the jewelry boxes, the guns, the fancy watches, and everything that we hold dear and to our hearts and that we treasure. I think piggy banks.
I think she had delusions of people in masks coming through the house with big bags and just loading our stuff into it. But I mean, it's
you
real.
Never know what to expect when expecting people in your home and you're not there.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
That was the weirdest thing.
And then I reached out to Josh and I was like, hey, Jackie has these concerns. And he's like, well, yeah, those are legitimate. And I was like, dang it, okay, we're doing this.
So we put those away in a safe spot. And then next came the cleaning. And, I like to imagine this house the way I saw it when I first walked in. And everything was clean. The counters were clear. The grout was clean. The carpets were vacuumed. Toilets were cleaned and scrubbed. The windows, we did the windows inside and out, vacuumed and mopped all we could, and then we had to leave. And it was still a struggle to leave. And
I basically had to drag her out of the house.
Knowing that everything wasn't, to my standard at least, letting strangers walk in and judge us.
They weren't judging. No one was judging. So after we finished all that, we did a road trip down to Waco. My friend, I would say kind of a lifelong friend, Mark, and his wife Vanessa, and opened their house for us for the weekend to come down for the Cav Ball. And if you've ever driven down 35 and you haven't stopped in West Texas, the city of West, to get kolaches, then you're really missing out. Slovacek's is on the, let's see, that would be the west side of the highway. The original Czech stop was on the other side, but they make Slovacek's if you're going southbound, so easy to get to.
Easy.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little mini Buc-ee's based around everything they have in there. But, and I'm a big kolache fan. And kolaches. Like people in North Texas will say, oh, do you want some kolaches? And they bring pigs in a blanket. And I'm like, that's not a kolache. That's a pig in a blanket or a sausage roll or whatever. So, a true kolache is like a pastry, a Czechoslovakian pastry with
the sweet jelly.
Yeah, the sweet jelly, cream cheese. You can eat them cold, you can eat them warm. They're best warm, of course. So we did that. That's always a fun stop.
We grabbed a dozen, took down to Mark and Vanessa's with us.
Because Vanessa being from Brazil, I didn't know if she'd experienced kolaches. So, you want to try and Texanize her as fast as you can. So Mark is a longtime friend of mine. We met when I joined the Army National Guard. He came from the 82nd Airborne, and I came from the Marine Corps. So he had the Army experience, but I ended up serving with him in a unit called I Troop and then H Troop, deployed to Iraq with Mark. He was on a different mission. We didn't see each other a lot during the year, but we were on the same mission. And then in 2009, I got a phone call from now retired Colonel Hart, and he said, hey, I'm putting together a group to go to Afghanistan. Would you be interested in going? And I said, who's going? And he listed off the names, and one of them was Mark. And so I was like, yeah, I'm in, I'll go. That's how I ended up going with him again. He's done multiple other tours without me, which sucks. I should have gone with him on those. But they live down in Waco. They have a beautiful home.
Very beautiful home with two beautiful dogs.
Yeah, big dogs too.
Big dogs.
Yeah. What's the dog? I can't think of it. Yeah, like cold weather Siberian dog. And Mark, if you're watching, sorry, I can't remember the breed, but
they're beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful dogs. Vanessa is Brazilian. They got married earlier this year. We went to their wedding, and so she lives here now full time. And let me tell you, it's totally different experience. She's very big on food and on dinner set. Like every meal, the table has to be completely set. It's
there was 2 forks and knives, and spoons.
Yeah.
The wine glass, the water glass, the 3 different sized plates with a saucer and teacup on it. It was
very impressive,
very extravagant and impressive for us.
For us who
Texans
who like grab a bowl and pour some cereal in it, and Mark jokingly said, "No, those days are over for him. He's not allowed to just grab a bowl of cereal."
And the fresh fruit every morning was delicious and
good.
Very delightful to have.
I told him we just wanted to stay for the weekend. We didn't know we were getting like the full bed and breakfast for the whole time we were there. And of course, I didn't know this, but Mark told me that in Brazil they're really big on like having a weekend type deal, like a Saturday or Sunday. And he said the fire starts up at 1 o'clock, and then you eat when everything's ready. And I'll just show you a little clip here of Mark getting the grill ready to go.
Coda has 0.
A 0 what?
He does not kill. No, Coda does not kill at all.
Is that the veggies in there?
Yeah.
So what's the kind of steak that she had you get first?
This is picanha.
Nice. And that's Brazilian cut? Yeah. And it's picanha steak. It's like a certain type of cut of steak.
After lunch, we had to get ready for the Cavalry Ball, which we were invited to.
I was the first sergeant of Alpha Troop back in 2014 through 16. I love that troop. You know, it's where I was my first sergeant billet, and those guys reached out. They said they don't have a first sergeant right now currently, and they asked if I would come to the ball and stand in for the grog ceremony and for different things they needed me to do. And it was very humbling for me and very awesome. And I'll let her. It was her first military. We met after I retired, so it was her first military.
First military ball. Everybody dressed in ball gowns and beautiful hair and nails and dresses, and everybody, all the gentlemen wearing their pinks and greens or the blues, and their cowboy hats or Stetsons.
Yep, Stetsons.
And their gold spurs or something to see.
Yeah, so when you go to the Cav Ball, there's a lot of traditions. It's all tradition based. It's based on the days of cavalry troopers riding horses, like spurs. You saw guys wearing spurs. I had my spurs on. That's a rite of passage that you have to earn as a cavalry trooper to get your spurs. You can kind of compare it to being like your expert infantry badge. In the infantry, there's a long process. There's different levels of spurs. There's silver spurs, which you get through a spur ride, and then there's gold spurs, and those are if you serve with a cavalry unit in combat, you earn your gold spurs. So I noticed there was a lot fewer gold spurs there this year. It seems like us old guys are kind of...
I didn't look that close.
Yeah.
But I did notice some ladies wearing Stetsons and spurs. That was really exciting to see.
Rachel?
Rachel was sitting at our table. Her and her husband both sharing the same Stetson hat, or not the same Stetson hat, but both have their own. And it was very cool to see them together and embrace that. Yeah,
Rachel's cool. She was the first 19 Delta Cavalry Scout in Texas Army National Guard. She went to Cav Scout School, and they opened up combat arms to females. And now she's an active duty, what we call tanker or turret plug at Fort Hood, doing great things with the armor branch. One of the other traditions is the grog.
The grog.
And so...
big old bowl of liquor.
Well, it was actually like a small trough. And they fill it with a base of like a Hawaiian punch. So it's probably a third full of Hawaiian punch, and then each certain member of leadership within a unit adds what they call a different charge. I was asked to do charge 7, and
French wine.
Yeah, French wine.
A troop adds charge 7.
To symbolize our service in southern France during World War II, All for the finest HEB French wine.
That video is pretty cool. You can see me where I poured it in, and I had to talk about our service during World War II in France. But what is in there? There's tequila, there's Lone Star beer, there's white wine, or Italian wine, French wine.
And there's some kind of spice.
Oh, the guy poured in a whole deal of curry.
Curry, yeah.
Curry powder,
Yeah.
the whole thing. You're supposed to just do like a little deal of it, but you know.
By then, I don't think anything would hurt.
No.
There's so
Yeah.
much in there.
So then the grog is stirred and it's served to the squadron commander, and then he says that it's unfit for human consumption.
Where's 278?
At that time, that's when everybody wants some. So there's a huge line. People get in line to get just a little bit of the grog, and then you do your toasts. And then after that, the debauchery continues into what I had a little preview of at the front of the video.
Oh, the drinking out of the Stetson
Christening
hat.
the Stetson.
Yeah.
So this is for new troopers, mainly officers do this. Their enlisted guys kind of goad them into it. Hey, sir, you have to christen your Stetson. And so I'll share that video with you. You guys could just check it out.
No mercy.
Anybody else? Anybody?
Oh, here it goes.
Three of the best liquors.
Sorry. Can I make a quick suggestion? Take your top off.
And what's
Go
left
down to
of
the t-shirt.
Hey,
Or to the white shirt.
Who's that?
Whoa, that's enough. Whoa.
hold on.
Back on to the army.
Hold on.
What do you think? Is that enough, sir? Hell yeah. All right, good. There you go. Now you don't have to get that clean.
Shirt, sir.
All right, sir. Proceed.
Woo, he's already struggling.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, sir. On the count! Break it in, sir. Break it in.
Taco.
I don't know, Taco.
There you go.
Don't you give up, sir. Finish it, sir.
Your platoon sergeant and your senior scout.
Finish it, sir. You ain't no bitch, sir. Keep going, sir.
Hold up right there, LT. All right, you gonna vomit? Let's hear Fiddler scream, my man. I'll stop.
Halfway down the trail to hell, in a shady meadow green, where the souls of all dead troopers camped, and the time canteen. And this eternal resting place is known as Fiddler's Green. And so many horses go down beneath the saber keen. Or you stop a bullet clean. And when hostiles come to get your scalp, just empty your canteen. And put your pistol to your head, 'cause you're Fiddler's Green!
So that's pretty crazy, wasn't it?
It was
Watching that
pretty
guy do
crazy.
that?
It was cringing at moments, that poor guy.
Especially for somebody who's
And
Yeah.
since I've almost been sober 15 years, the smell just makes you want to
Yeah.
join him at the back fence by hurling it.
And I want to say, there's a couple things I want to say to this. I share this with y'all. It's kind of a top secret deal, but I love it, and you know, I love seeing those traditions. But there's safety things in place. Like, there's absolutely no way he would be allowed to drive
Yeah, there
back
was
to the hotel.
designated drivers.
They had drivers and shuttles. Anybody who felt that they'd had too much, the shuttle would take you judgment-free wherever you needed to go, back to the hotel or to your home or to the armory if that's where you're staying.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I'd say probably 90% of what he drank out of his Stetson was not retained.
No, it came right back out.
Yeah. And so, you know, on top of that, there was some dancing.
Yeah.
Lots of dancing, good
Dancing.
music. It was a good time.
Oh, there was also dinner. We had dinner before all the drinking commenced.
Yeah, that was
so
good.
It was
Barbecue,
nice.
you know, your typical Texas thing, barbecue, and some sausage and some chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the containers they served it in, though, was like a big mermite. If you've ever been in the military, those mermites, the green ones that have the pop off top. And so I thought, oh, great, Army cooking. But those potatoes were awesome.
They were delicious.
Yeah.
Everything was great.
I think they wiped out all of it by the end. But lots of friends. Saw a lot of friends, a lot of
Yes.
old school friends. It was really good. Had a good time. If you enjoy the video, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. It's just going to help us out. We've had friends for a long time saying, you guys should start a YouTube channel. You do all this cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So here we're doing it. So throw us a like and subscribe if you enjoy it. And other than that, looking forward to the next video.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nothing I can think of.
All right. Till next time. We'll see you.
Bye.